Hello there. This short video deals with how to install R and RStudio on RPM-based Linux, primarily Red Hat, CentOS, Scientific Linux, Oracle Linux, and Fedora. Those are pretty much all RPM-based Linux. And it doesn't matter whether you are on 6 or 7, version, you will still be able to install R and RStudio based upon this video. Just for the curious minds, I'm on the CentOS 7.4 server, and I will open the terminal here, get to root. If you don't have root, then you gotta have sudo. Either one will work. And you just first update your system. That's very important because God knows when was the last time you updated your system, probably an hour ago. But it's still good to update the system just to make sure that all the packages out there, and when you install your customized software, it's not dependent on any software or any dependencies that your server doesn't have. We are good. It says no package are marked for update, so our system is up to date. And I will now install the EPEL repository. Now, for all those who are wondering what EPEL is, extra package for enterprise Linux. Now, this repository doesn't come pre-installed in all the RPM-based Linux except Fedora, because Fedora is always a step ahead from all the rest, and it's always have the latest and greatest of the software. So Fedora does come installed with EPEL release, but not Red Hat, CentOS, Scientific Linux, or Oracle. So we will install the EPEL release now. And if you already have it, most likely you will, then it doesn't matter because yum is idempotent. That means if you already have something, it's not gonna touch it. It's just gonna look, query, and if it finds it, it just says nothing to do. You got it. So now you are good. You can install the package, which is as simple as yum install R. As simple as this one. Now you hit enter, and this will download package R as well as its dependencies from the repository EPEL. And this is what all the dependencies is querying and finding, and it's gonna present you with a nice menu-based system stating are the packages that will be installed on your system. Are you okay with that? And I'll just, look into it as if I understand what's going on. And then I will simply come here and press Y. Now you can press D or N as well. D means just download and not install. And N means of course no. So I will go ahead and press yes and install the package. Okay, so we are done. And then you can also query what all packages you install by yum r and the white flag, and this will tell you what all the packages you just installed. Another way is you can just info the package, yum info, then the package name. In this case, the package name is R, so you can know all about that package through yum, and this way you can do it for any other package name, and this will tell you about the architecture, version, release, and all that, and then the pretty nice description. So we just got done with installing R. We have to now install RStudio. RStudio is an IDE that you will work on, and this IDE will exploit the R binaries. So hover over to your web browser, go in the web search engine and type in RStudio, and rather RStudio download, just to make things easier for us. Download RStudio. Now here we are only looking for free version, and you want to go with server version, not the desktop version, because server version comes with a web server as well. So you will be able to work on IDE on the web browser, as well as your peers or the people in your physical area network will also be able to log into the web browser and use the IDE server that's installed on your system that you will be installing just now. So we'll go ahead and download this. Go in the Red Hat, and we'll just go with 64-bit. I don't think you are using 32-bit, not in 2018. Okay, so we'll just make a directory. and download this package over here. And while it's downloading, all right, so download is done. This is the RPM we just downloaded. And now go back in the web browser and say this is the command we're gonna use to now install it. You could also install it using RPM with RPM IV H flag. I mean install V is verbose, H is human readable. But Yum is one of the best way to install any software, because this way if you need any dependency, Yum will query the dependency and then download and install that as well. In this case, Yum did not find you need any other dependent software, so it's just going to install this one software, which is RStudio. And this is going fast. Okay, so let's see what Yum has done here. It has not just downloaded and installed your or just installed your package or your RPM. It has also started your server. And if you see here, this is the starting RStudio server and then started RStudio server. This is good, and you can check with command systemctl status and then the server name dot service. So this is telling you actually this server is running, which is of course I've shown you, but it's good to double check. Also, you want to check if it's enabled or not enabled during reboot, and yes, this is enabled. So if you want to disable it and if you don't want it to reboot to start along with a reboot, then you can disable it from here. And for version 6, people, you can use your service command, service status, then the service name here, RStudio server service, and check config to enable or disable it during the reboot. These are the two things you can do. Now we're gonna go to the web browser here. Okay, so this has opened up. Let's check our host name. Our host name is this one. Copy it, take it to the browser, and paste it here. And by default, RStudio runs on port 8787. So you're gonna plug in that. All right, it has come up with nice screen saying user and password, and it's also saying the connection is not secure. It is because this is HTTP connection, not HTTPS. So with your logged in username, the username on which you logged in your Linux server and its password, you should be able to get into the IDE. Okay, so ID has opened up in front of you. This is how it will look. And to change the preferences, you can go into tools and global options, and you can change the background. Like I like darker background, you might have your own preference. So just go with your preference and do whatever you like. Let's say I do cloud midnight, and this is what it's going to look like. Okay, and then you can also choose about your font size, about everything in general that you can of course explore. And the Git, you can use for source version control Git, or you can use the RStudio itself for the version control. And you're gonna just do print hello world. Well, there you go. This is all there is to it, and happy programming. Ciao.